Carroll O'Connor hated him more than anyone, really. Carroll O'Connor, John Carroll O'Connor, was born on August 2, 1924, in the Bronx, New York. Although from an Irish-American background, his upbringing encouraged education, storytelling, and tradition. O'Connor's youth influenced his acting when he faced the challenges of the Great Depression, which instilled a deep-rooted sense of class, struggles, and perspectives on how people see the world. O'Connor attended Wake Forest University, later attending the University of Montana, but educational interests were temporarily disrupted when he served in the United States Merchant Marine during World War II. This educational detour offered O'Connor a valuable learning experience in human endurance, discipline, and behavior, which he later conveyed through his acting characters. After his experiences within the conflict, O'Connor continued his academic path, later graduating with a degree in English. O'Connor's educational background in literature, language, and expression encouraged his interests in teaching, which he pursued until his later realizations that acting is his real interest. In the 1950s, he traveled to Ireland, where he attended University College, Dublin. This abroad stint instilled a deep appreciation for performance, theater, and acting, which encouraged O'Connor to take part in several acting performances on stage, helping him develop as an actor for his later long stint ahead. Later, O'Connor returned to the United States, working extra hard throughout the 1960s in preparation for a thorough, strong stint in the entertainment industry. O'Connor's experimentation in acting started taking him to television, with acting gigs in several television series, including secondary acting spots in a 1960s Hollywood film, such as Cleopatra, 1963, What Did You Do in the War, Daddy? 1966, Point Blank, 1967, which saw him delivering convincing performances in serious drama roles, as well as comedy. Although he displayed incredible talent, it appears that O'Connor's breakthrough acting role came a decade later, when he starred in a role that instilled him within television history, a role that is yet to be elaborated on. This, of course, is the role of Archie Bunker in the groundbreaking television series All in the Family, from 1971 to 1979. Archie Bunker is a working-class man from Queens, a character that represented the likes of the prejudice, the frustration, and the generational conflict that existed in American society at that particular point in history. It is a fact that many actors might have been apprehensive in taking on a role that embodied such a controversial figure, but not Roy O'Connor. Instead, he brought such depth, such complexity, such vulnerability, that the one-dimensional caricature that the role could easily have been reduced to never came into play. Instead, with Roy O'Connor's portrayal, Archie Bunker became a reflection of the problems that were existing within America regarding race, gender, politics, and cultural changes, which were many. It is inconceivable that television audiences did not see themselves in the likes of Archie Bunker, though they might not have agreed with his perspective on life, but they certainly understood him, identified with him, laughed with him as much as they laughed at him. All in the Family became a phenomenon on television because, for the first time in television history, it tackled such issues as racism, feminism, the Vietnam War, and economic inequality on primetime television, which had never been done before on such a forum. For his performance, Roy O'Connor won a record-breaking 4 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series, which solidified his position as one of the all-time great actors on television. The role of Archie Bunker was reprised on the spin-off television series Archie Bunker's Place from 1979 to 1983, which cemented his position even further in television history. Roy O'Connor's role in television history has, however, not been with Archie Bunker alone. In the late 1980s to the 1990s, he donned a different identity with his portrayal of the enlightened, thoughtful Chief Bill Gillespie on the television adaptation of In the Heat of the Night, from 1988 to 1995. Unlike Archie Bunker, Gillespie is a character who changes as he learns, grows, and alters with a changing backdrop of racial conflict, crime, and small-town life, existing within the state of Mississippi. Roy O'Connor worked also as a producer, a writer on television, which indicates that his skills are many, which is a trait that distinguishes him from many actors on television, who are limited within acting alone, with such skills never extending into the storytelling realm, which is a skill that not many possess, making In the Heat of the Night a success, a success that lasted for a long time, which is a result of his vision, his leadership, which he displayed as a television producer, which is an industry he is a part of, which he is a leader within. In 1962, when Carol Ochenor was working on the historical epic Cleopatra in Rome, a production that would go on to become notorious for its opulent sets, massive budget overruns, and the challenge of filming alongside legends such as Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, Ochenor and his wife, Nancy Fields Ochenor, made a life-changing, deeply personal, and impactful decision that would go on to affect Hugh in significant, far-reaching ways. The couple chose to adopt a 6-year-old infant boy that they named Hugh, a highly significant gesture that paid homage to Ochenor's own brother, who tragically died a mere year before, even as he was filming Cleopatra. This adoption, which marked a highly significant point in Ochenor's own personal life, stood not merely as a gesture of a couple's own humanity, which sought to provide a loving home for a child in need, but also as a monument to Ochenor's own deep commitment to his own familial unit, even as he worked on an international film set that might, in a different manner, threaten to disrupt his domestic life. In the ensuing years, Hugh would grow to learn all about the television and film industries that his father worked in, but as a teenager, he managed to take a small but highly significant part on the set of Archie Bunker's Place, working as a messenger, a position that might, in a different way, seem highly inconsequential, other than that it served as a chance for Hugh to be actively involved within the sort of environment that had, in a different way, brought his own father such success. For Ochenor, who would go on to become a television icon in his own right, it served as a means of sharing, in a small but highly significant way, the challenges, but more importantly perhaps, the successes inherent within a professional set, with his own son, even as he worked to instill, through this means, a sense of his own familial pride, but also a sense of a work ethic that might, in a different way, bring his own son success within the entertainment industry that his own life had brought him success within. In fact, Ochenor would even go on to develop a television character in the Heat of the Night, that of Officer Lonnie Jameson, specifically for Hugh, a gesture that served as far more than merely a professional service to his son, but as a deep, highly significant gesture on his own part, which sought, in a small but highly significant way, to bring his own son a chance to find a manner in which to creatively, professionally develop within the highly protected, highly significant environment that his own protection offered him, within a realm that his own life had brought him success within. This particular instance emphasized Ochenor's commitment as a parent and a mentor, intermingling his professional life with his personal life in a way that is quite extraordinary. Sadly, on March 28, 1995, Ochenor's son, Hugh, took his own life because of a long struggle with a serious addiction problem. This tragedy significantly impacted Ochenor, not only on a deeply personal level, but also from a professional perspective. Losing a child is a tragedy that cannot be put into perspective, but losing a child to a struggle with addiction is a particular brand of tragedy that helps make Ochenor even more well-known for his advocacy on behalf of the importance of a healthy, respectful relationship with illegal drugs. Ochenor's appearance on a series of public service announcements for the Partnership for a Drug-Free America is his way of taking a tragedy in his life and making it a useful tool that helps keep other families from going through what he has experienced with his own child. The later life of Ochenor, the renowned television star known the world over for his iconic performance as the patriarch Archie Bunker on the television series All in the Family, is best characterized by his commitment to making the general public more aware of the dangers of drug addiction, speaking eloquently in interviews about his own experiences with his son's addiction, as well as his commitment to helping addicts everywhere. This is a life's work that is extremely commendable, one that marks Ochenor's professional life as a television star, but also a deep commitment to his life as a concerned citizen, a commitment that marks his epitaph not only as a television icon, but also a concerned parent. Carol O'Connor, the iconic television star best known for his iconic All in the Family television series appearance, Archie Bunker, never had a problem expressing his distaste for people he didn't particularly care for. This included his feelings toward Rob Reiner, who played his son, Meathead Stavik, on the All in the Family television series. In interviews, he has readily expressed his disdain, once stating, "I've never hated anyone as much as Rob Reiner." This is no simple frenemy relationship, but a deep-rooted hatred that Akinor has now publicly admitted has deeply impacted his television series life for all these intervening years. Unlike the potential conflicts that might occur on a television set, Akinor's conflict with Reiner was extremely personal, stemming from fundamental issues of temperament, ego, and acting style. Akinor felt that Reiner's presence and demeanor sabotaged the sense of camaraderie that he thought characterized the cast of characters on All in the Family. Reiner, said Akinor, had this way of acting, of behaving, that undermined the entire spirit of what we were trying to do. Part of the problem, Akinor said, was Reiner's style of acting, a style that he said reflected Rob's snobbishness on screen. Akinor, who is a highly proud professional with a deep commitment to his own acting, despised Reiner's assurance. Rob, he said, always thought he was smarter than everyone else, that he had a moral high ground simply because he played the liberal son. Reiner, it seems, embodied the sense of superiority, a snobbishness, that Akinor, who is intensely proud of his own art, has never been comfortable with. Akinor faced not merely Reiner's acting style, but his sense of superiority, his implied rejection, that he conveyed on set, a message that Akinor, with his own pride, never accepted. Akinor always described Reiner as arrogant, as insufferable, who went far beyond necessary artistic disputes to the point of provocation. Reiner, to Akinor, embodied not merely a sense of questioning his own acting skills, but worse, a threat to the chemistry that defines the cast and crew of All in the Family, a tension that is inescapable. Akinor's hatred, therefore, is based not merely on his own distaste for Reiner's style, but on the highly personal and lack of relationship that the two people had with one another. Unlike actors who develop a close relationship with his co-stars, who share various things, plus a sense of mutual support, Akinor saw Reiner as distant, as superior, as someone who never pretended that he liked him as a friend. Never, said Akinor, did I feel that Rob Reiner might consider me a friend. Rob Reiner, he said, always had some point to make, some message that he sought to drive home, a message that always started from proving a point, a message that exhausted me, that irritated me, that angered me. In short, therefore, Akinor, while clearly highly antagonistic toward Reiner, his professional adversary, felt that he was under constant siege by Reiner, who challenged his acting not merely on set, but on a daily basis, a conflict that made his acting even more frustrating than it might typically have been. It is not merely a matter of disdain, therefore, that made Akinor highly antagonistic toward Reiner, although that is clearly a part of it, but also a philosophical disagreement. Archie Bunker is, in many ways, a contradictory character who has complexities that need to be discerned with subtlety by a talented interpreter such as Akinor. Reiner's style with his own character, on the other hand, is intensely satirical and ideological, which reduced the conflict between the father and son to a series of moral lectures, as felt by Akinor. It wasn't acting, he once said. It was him trying to teach me a lesson every day about liberal versus conservative, right versus wrong. I'm an actor, not a preacher. The tension in these scenes came from Akinor's struggle to navigate Reiner's antics, while still playing the core of Archie. Although his feelings were very passionate, he rarely let them boil over on screen. This professionalism meant that he despised Reiner, but made sure that the tension he felt didn't have a negative effect on his scenes with him, but rather a positive one, as it made his scenes with Reiner far more authentic. Ironically, it may be that Akinor's dislike of Reiner might have been what produced the on-screen chemistry that made his scenes with Archie Bunker so compelling to the audience, although Akinor would never have considered it more than a small consolation prize. In private, he never wavered in his disdain for Reiner to the end of his life, declaring that his disdain for Reiner was the worst he had ever experienced. I've worked with a lot of people I didn't like, he said, but Rob topped them all, more than anybody. Ultimately, Carroll O'Connor's disdain for Rob Reiner is a metaphor for a complicated, contradictory man. A passionate artist, a fiercely protective artist, someone who is not afraid to speak his mind when he thinks someone is insufferable, explains his son Hugh. The side of the audience that saw the charming, occasionally gruff Archie Bunker is far different from the side that saw Akinor's interactions with Reiner, which reveal the deep, continuing tension that permeated his filming experiences on _all in the family _. This tale is a reminder that even the most iconic screen partnerships can hide beneath the surface the same level of tension that is played out on screen, although the latter is far more noticeable to the viewer. Carroll O'Connor, known to a generation as the iconic star of _all in the family television series patriarch Archie Bunker, left this life on June 21, 2001, at the age of 76. Although he had been a part of the Culver City, California, community, a town that is inextricably linked with the entertainment industry, his death occurred there, a town that was a significant part of his life's work. Ultimately, his death came from a heart attack, which, unfortunately, was precipitated by his prolonged suffering with a condition called diabetes, a condition he had been suffering from for a significant number of years. It is a harsh reality that because of the impact that his condition has on his heart, it is no surprise that a heart attack occurred, especially to one as significant as Carroll O'Connor. Additionally, his interment is at Westwood Memorial Park, a prestigious burial grounds in the heart of Los Angeles that is pejoratively referred to as the final solution for a significant part of Hollywood's most iconic movie stars, a fact that reflects his position within the entertainment industry as a whole, as well as his importance within his entertainment community. This particular burial grounds is a significant part of his life because he, a significant television star, rested alongside many other Hollywood stars, which reflects his importance within the entertainment community, as it is a part of a prestigious burial grounds. In a highly intimate way, a cenotaph dedicated to his son, Hugh, is marked on his gravestone. The presence of the cenotaph on his gravestone is a poignant reminder of his deep affection for his son, as his son Hugh had been a significant member of his life, who he adopted during a significant part of his own life. The gravestone that marks his own significance, as well as his son's, is certainly a reminder of his life, but also a reminder of his own dedication to his own family. The gravestone that marks his own life, as well as his dedication to his son, is a significant reminder that his own life is marked in a very real way, with his own dedication to his own life, as well as his own dedication to his own family, because his life is clearly marked within his own dedication to his life, but also marked within his own life with his dedication to his own family.